بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا اللهم علمنا ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما يا رب العالمين. We continue our discussion on the book Adab Masjid as-Salah, the book called The Etiquette of Walking to the Salah. The Etiquette of Walking to the Salah. And before Ramadan, we stopped where we were discussing that when a person is Salah and he has mucus in his mouth or spit, he's not supposed to, if he's in a masjid, he's supposed to spit it in his thobe, or if he has like a napkin or things like that, he should spit it in there. But of course, you should not spit it in the masjid. And if it's outside of the masjid, then he should spit it to his left and not to his right, nor under his feet. So this is where we stopped the last, where we left off. So today, inshallah ta'ala, we're going to continue from there. So the author, rahimahullah, may Allah have mercy on him, he said, وَتُكْرَهُ صَلَاةُ الْغَيْرِ الْمَأْمُومِ إِلَى غَيْرِ سُتْرَةٍ. He said, it is disliked that a ma'moom, meaning the person, imam, who's leading in salah, imam or a person who's praying alone, it is disliked that the person pray without having a sutrah, without having a barrier in front of him. He mentioned, the author is, the explainer says, وَلَوْ قَدَرَ الْمُؤَخِّرَ الرَّحَلْ أَمَامَهُ مُرْتَفِعًا. He said, if he places a saddle, the saddle of like a horse. There's this saddle, we know saddle, right? Yeah. A saddle is, and the saddle has to be about an inch. That a person has to be about an inch, as the scholars mentioned. It says, فَإِذَا يَكُنْ أَمَامَ الصُّرَةِ. If it's about the height of a saddle, which is about an inch, it should be a height of an inch. A feet, sorry, F1. It should be a feet. It says, then it will be considered having a sutrah. But if it's less than that, then it's not going to be considered sutrah. Right? If it's shorter than that, it's not going to be considered sutrah in front of him. He says, فَإِذَا هَذَا يَكْرَهُ كَرَاهَةَ التَّنْزِيهِ. He said, this is dislike, but this kind of dislike is not something that is, it's not haram. Alright? But it's because there are two types of karaha when they dislike. The word dislike of two types. Karaha, that is dislike that is haram. And this is where the people of the past used to, things that are haram, they will call it, say, it's dislike, meaning that is haram. So in this case, is it something I dislike that is not that is haram, but it's preferable that the person have a sutrah in front of him. And he said, وَلَوْ لَمْ يَخْشَى مَرًّا بِجِدَارٍ أَوْ يَخْشَى شَاخِصٍ أَوْ شَيْءٍ شَاخِصٍ. He said, even if he does not fear that a person will cross in front of him, if you don't fear, some situations where maybe in your house and you don't feel like somebody walk in front of you, like, okay, there's no problem, right? But even if you don't feel that way, it's better that you have a sutrah in front of you. That you put something that is fixed. Something that is fixed, or even for a knife. If something like a knife, you can just put it there. So he continues, he said, وَيَسُنُّ أَن يَدْنُوَ مِنْهَا, and it is recommended that a person is close to it. Right? So you're close to your sutrah. Due to the hadith of Prophet ﷺ says, إِذَا صَلَحَ أَحَدُكُمْ فَلْيُصَلِّ عَلَى سِطْرَةٍ وَيَدْنُ مِنْهَا. Prophet ﷺ mentioned in a hadith, says that if any one of you pray, then he should pray to a sutrah, to have a barrier there, and he should be close to it. It should be close to it. Then he mentioned, alayhi salatu wassalam, he said, فَيَنْرَفُ مِنْهَا يَسِيرًا. He said, but it should not be too close to it. It should not be close to it. The Sheikh Salih Fawzan explained, he says, لِعَلَى يَشْبَهُ بِمَنْ يَعْبُدُ الْأَصْنَامِ وَيَعْبُدُ الْمَبَانِ وَنَحْوِ ذَلِكَ. So that it does not resemble a person worshiping idols or worshiping the wall or something like that. Because if you're too close to it, it can give an impression that maybe the person is worshiping it. So you are close to the whatever you have as your sutrah, but you're not too close to it, so that it does not resemble that as if you're worshiping that thing. He continues, وَإِذَا تَعَذَّرَ خَطًّا. And he says, if it's impossible, if he does not have anything to put in front of him, if he doesn't have anything to put in front of him, then he should draw a line. He should draw a line. سيكون من مقام الشيء القاهم فإذا مر ورائه من يمر ومن وراء سترة خط غيره فإنه لا يضر. So if a person works behind the lines, even though they have no sutrah, then it's no problem. If you don't have anything to put in front of the sutrah, you draw a line, and the person will walk behind it, then there's no problem. He says, إِن لَمْ تَكُنْ سُتْرَةٌ أو مر بينه وبينها امرأة أو كلب أو حمار. He said, except that if women or a woman, a dog, or a donkey. Because if these three cross paths, what happens? The salah is invalid. Is invalid? That's it? Is that true?
Well, not invalid, but like what's the correct word?
Yeah, it's invalid.
Yeah.
That's how the hadith. That's it comes in the hadith.
How many animals?
It's a woman, a dog, and a donkey.
If someone is praying and
they walk past without having sutrah there.
oh, okay.
Yeah, if they're walking past without sutrah, then there is. But the Sheikh says
So you're saying if a man comes past, it's not invalid?
it's not invalid. These three things, which is a woman, a dog, and a donkey.
Quick question.
Yes.
Now, in a situation whereby it's only women that is praying, no, over here, I cannot be praying and women should walk by
Right.
naturally
Right.
on this men's section.
Right.
So if the woman is praying alone, he doesn't have sutrah,
Oh yeah.
and the woman walk by,
Yeah, same thing.
is that salat also invalid?
But that's the hadith mentioned. The hadith mentioned the salah is invalid, but he said, the Sheikh says, ولكن هذا المراد بطلان هنا نقص الثواب والأجر. He said, what is intended here is not nullifying totally, but nullifying that the reward is reduced. That the reward of the salah is reduced. He said, وَلَيْسَ الْمُرَادِ بُطْلَانِ عَدَمَ نَصِيحَ الصَّلَاةِ بِذَلِكَ. He said, it doesn't mean that the salah is not good anymore. It just means that the reward is the reward is reduced. So the Shaykh continues to mention وَلَهُ قِرَاءَةٌ فِي الْمُصْحَفِ. He said for a person is to read from the Mus'haf, to read the Quran. If the person cannot read, if he doesn't know any surah but he can read from the Mus'haf, he can read from the Mus'haf. He can read from the Mus'haf. He can read from the Mus'haf.
So you mean if the person did not memorize any surah,
if they memorize the surah but he can read,
Quran,
he can hold Quran.
Read,
Yes. To pray Salah.
Another form.
Okay.
Now, you were saying like if a woman walked by,
Yes.
the Salah is invalid.
It's not invalid.
No, the word will be reduced.
Yeah, it was, yes, yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
So, in a situation, I'm praying in the house,
Mm-hmm.
I have a daughter
Mm-hmm.
that walked by,
Mm-hmm.
and she's very young, maybe like 3-4 years old.
Uh-huh.
The way they do.
Yeah,
So, does that, does it like specifics to some age of women, maybe the mature, the elderly ones, or
That is a very good question. I'll give back to you on that one. That's a very good question. I'll look into that. I can't remember that question we asked, but I can't remember what the.
Female run away from the
Yeah, I need to look into it just to give. It's a good question. Inshallah, we'll get back to you on that. Right. So he says, والسؤال عند آية الرحمة وتعوذ عند آية العذاب. It's like if a person is in the salah, if a person in the salah, if you heard the verses of Rahmah, that Allah said, Allah mentioned the verse that Inna rahmatallahi qarib min al-muhsinin, for example. Indeed, the mercy of Allah is close to the muhsinin, the good doers. It is permissible for a person to say, "Oh Allah, bestow mercy on me." When the verses of mercy is mentioned in the Quran, it is permissible for a person. Of course, the scholars, the most correct opinion is that you can only say that in the nawafil, in the nawafil now, in the sunnah. But some of the scholars say you can say even the 5 daily salah. But the most correct opinion is that because the hadith of Prophet ﷺ is that Prophet ﷺ, you say it when he's praying at night. I did mention he prayed at night, not in the 5 daily salah. So, but if a person reciting and you heard the verse of mercy, ar-rahmah, you ask Allah, "Oh Allah, have mercy on me. Allahumma irhamni. Oh Allah, have mercy on me." Or if you وَتَعَوَّذْ إِنْدَ الْآيَةِ الْعَذَابِ, and if you heard the ayat of adab, the verses of punishment, you should seek refuge in Allah from the punishment. If you hear the verse of punishment, you should, Now.
Is this said silently or?
It's silent enough, but it shouldn't be too loud. Yeah, it definitely not to be loud. And also, if a person hears the verse where to say that sabbih, like in verse of Sutrah al-Ala, sabbih isma rabbika al-Ala, it's permitted to say subhana rabbi al-Ala. Like it's allowed for you to say that. But that the scholars that mentioned you can say in the obligatory salah, they say as long as you do not say so loud that it can cause confusion to the man who is reciting. But the most correct opinion, the one that's closer to the narration, is the one that you should not say in the 5 daily salah, but you can say in the sunnah if you're praying. So he says, wal qiyam rukun fil fard. He says that standing is a pillar when you are praying the 5 daily salah. When you pray sunnah, you don't have to stand up. If you're praying sunnah, especially qiyamul layl, you don't have to stand up. But of course, if you don't stand up, your reward is not complete. You don't get a full reward. So it said, and of course, there are 14 pillars of Salah. There are 14 pillars of Salah. Remember, we did it before, right?
Yeah.
What are the 14 pillars of Salah?
Standing.
Standing with the ability.
Yes, yeah.
That if a person has the ability to stand and does not stand in the Salah, his Salah is invalid. Sometimes we have some brothers, sometimes they want to sit down. They don't want to stand up. We got to tell them, unless you have something, the reason why you can't stand up, if you just want to sit down because you're lazy, your Salah is not correct.
How about the Sunnah?
The Sunnah, you don't have to. The Sunnah, you can sit down. But your reward is diminished. The word is diminished.
Like that.
Eh?
Like that.
It's diminished, yeah. Allah alam how, but it's diminished according to what the scholars mentioned. It says, and of course, so we mentioned that there are 14 pillars of Salah. The first one is to stand with the ability. The second is what?
Sutrah Fatiha.
So that's Sutrah al-Fatiha. Sutrah al-Fatiha, of course, there's a disagreements of the scholars, but the most correct opinion that's according to the hadith. The Prophet mentioned hadith, La salat liman yakra Fatiha al-Kitab. There's no salah for the one who does not recite the opener of the book.
Imam, I have a question.
No.
A lot of people, for example, you the Imam,
Mm-hmm.
you read the Salat, you read Surah Al-Fatiha,
Mm-hmm.
and immediately when you finish, you read the small surah like that.
Right.
In Atainak.
Right.
And the people behind you, they don't have a chance to read the Fatiha. You already say Allah Akbar to record.
Right.
What that case? How the person is going to read Fatiha?
The Surah al-Fatiha, some of the madhahib, like the Hanafi, they say you don't have to recite the Fatiha. Right?
You are praying with Imam.
Eh? Yeah, when you're praying with the Imam, yes. When you're praying with the Imam, you don't have to recite Surah al-Fatiha. But and I think the Shafi is also, I think they have the same opinion. I'm not sure, but I know for sure the Hanafis have that position. But the Hanbalis, they mention that you have to recite Surah al-Fatiha even if you're behind the Imam. Of course, if everyone is leading Salah, you have to recite Fatiha. If you don't recite Fatiha, then your Salah is not correct.
How are you going together with Imam, or when you read in the Surah Fatiha, you say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, I can't say Bismillah ar-Rahman, Alhamdulillah, I can't say Alhamdulillah.
No.
How are you going to read it?
No. You say it to yourself.
Myself, after you finish or before?
The scholars mention that it's better to say
After you finish?
After.
Before you start, even if you read the other surah, I can still do it.
Yeah, but they said do not recite at the same time that the Imam is reciting.
I understand
Yeah.
My question was that.
Yeah.
Usually I do myself, after you finish the Salat Fatiha,
Yeah.
when you start other surah, I always read inside myself.
I also
Surah
read
Fatiha.
No, inside.
I mean, slowly.
Yeah,
Nobody
okay.
can hear it.
Right, okay. That's it. Yeah.
Nobody
Also,
can
okay.
hear it behind me, but I read it.
Right.
But some people, they say it's not necessary, Imam read already for you.
Yeah, the Hanafis, they have the position. But what is closest to the hadith is that you should recite Surah al-Fatiha.
So is it better to? So you saying you shouldn't recite it with the imam?
Do not at the same time as the Imam, but when the Imam stops reciting, then you recite.
When Imam say, Ameen,
Ameen,
Then you start
and then
you recite. Yeah.
One of these, maybe the Imam, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. So when the Imam finish one line, I just read it.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
you know.
all. Yeah.
No, because
No,
if you start reciting, it's gonna merge. Because
You're gonna finish before me.
Say
Enjoy that.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Once you say that,
Uh-huh.
then I say Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, that's all.
Ar-Rahman
To
Ar-Rahim.
itself.
Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim.
it's not mentioned to be reciting like that.
Oh, really? Oh, so
when the Imam say Ameen, and that's
Then you say yours now.
So,
Yeah, but to say
Even
after,
if you don't have a chance to finish it,
you should say it quickly, because it's not how. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alamin, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Just say it quickly. Just say it quickly. Now.
Even if you start another surah, say you finish Fatiha, we say Ameen, and then you start reading yourself, and you start another surah, small surah. Before you finish, you still continue.
You say it as much quickly as quickly as possible. Now.
What of this situation? Imam finished Surah Fatiha. He jumped on Surah Ikhlas. It's very short.
Yeah.
Right.
You know? By the time Imam finished Surah Ikhlas, I'm still at Maliki Yawm. You're already on Ruku.
No. Well, you can say Surah Al-Fatiha is not that. It's not that. You can say quickly enough for you to be able to finish it on
I
time.
don't want to rush through it because I don't want to make a mistake.
No, you don't have to rush through it because you have to. You cannot be too far away from the Imam either. Too. I think we mentioned that as well too. You cannot be too. Say what Imam said, Allahu Akbar, and you still standing there. No. You're supposed to follow the Imam closely. You're not supposed to pass the Imam. No, you're supposed to be too, stay too long behind the Imam either as well.
But it is permissible to just hear the Imam and follow the Imam.
What do you mean?
Salat is still valid. You recite the Fatiha on Fatiha. We hear, we follow the recitation, and our Salat is still good.
Like I said, the Hanafis, they take that position. You don't have to recite Salat al-Fatiha. And they have the evidence for it, by the way. But they have the evidence for it, right? But the most correct opinion that I see is the Prophet saying that there's no Salah for the one that does not recite Surah Al-Fatiha. I'm afraid of this, right? And this is how we're supposed to be when we hear people having disagreement, because scholars have a lot of disagreement about different issues, right? A person should always try to take the one that is safe, that's not going to make him fall into situations where, that's going to be like, you know what? I don't know.
Sometimes to me, the Imam reads Fatiha. The time he finishes, I read the Fatiha myself, and he starts with the Ikhlas. The time he finishes with the Ikhlas, and I finish Fatiha. And say Allah Akbar, I say Allah Akbar.
Yeah. Or you can even wait till the end of the class now.
Another question. You said you can't read the same time with Imam.
You can already know.
There are some, like Zohar Ashri. I don't even know when Imam starts Fatiha and when he finishes Fatiha. So is that like a
No. Sorry. Okay, that's a good point. When you're reciting invoice, you recite the same time as Imam. When we talk about is when it's silent, like Dhuhr and Asr, you recite the same time as Imam. What we're talking about is when you're reciting, if it's loud. Yeah, Maghrib al Fajr, like that's what we're talking about now. Yeah.
So,
No.
So what's correct? The Imam has to finish the whole Al-Fatiha before you can start saying your own.
No, not only Surah Al-Fatiha. You have to recite until the Imam is not reciting anymore.
But some Imam, when they finish with Surah Al-Fatiha, they give you a couple of seconds before they start other surah, so the other people can finish.
Okay, damn, Mumtaz. Nah, that's a good point. Now you can, Huh?
They pause.
Just that's a good idea. Some of them, and that's what Imam should do. The Imam should do that to give the people the time to. Barakallah. That's a good point. Right. So we mentioned there are 14 pillars. Pillars are things that if a person missed them in the salah is nullified. From that is that the person stand having the ability. If you don't have the ability to stand, then there's no problem. The second is Surah Al-Fatiha. The third is what?
Going to
Ruku'. If a person doesn't go to ruku' and he goes to sujood right away, his salah is nullified. The only way he can fix that is to get back from sujood, come back to ruku' and continue from there. If a person he prayed 4 rakah, in the fourth rakah, he remembers that the first rakah he prayed didn't make ruku' in there, he has to start from that position and continue from there. So all the other 3 rakahs, they are invalid.
Wow.
They are invalid. Very, very important to understand that. So invalid, yes.
Begin again.
He has to start from the point that he missed the ruku. Like I mentioned, the first rakah, he missed the ruku and he went to sujood. And he prayed second rakah, and prayed third rakah, and prayed fourth rakah. Oh, how many rakah whether he's praying? Then he remembered the fourth rakah. Oh, I forgot. I didn't make ruku in the first rakah. He has to come back and he go to ruku. Allahu Akbar, go to ruku, and come up with the rakah that came after it. And he has to make a sujood, asahu, to make sure it's complete. Right. So the first is standing with the ability. The second is Fatiha.
You forgot the takbir ikram.
Oh, barakallah fi, yes. Takbirat al-ihram. Yes, that's important. Yes. So standing, takbirat al-ihram. If you don't say Allahu Akbar, it's nullified. There's a lot. So you have to start your salah again. Right? Then after you say takbirat al-ihram, you recite Fatiha. After you recite Fatiha, then you go to ruku. After you go to ruku, you have to come back from her. Some people, they go to ruku and they go to sujood right there and there. If you do that, then the salah is nullified.
That's Africa.
Huh?
Say that's Africa.
Yeah. So it is important.
They do that?
Yeah. Go straight.
So
No, all Nigeria, some Nigeria, bro.
I mean, it's possible to forget. We all can forget. I think I forgot, and I caught myself like, man, I gotta do this again. It's possible to forget because sometimes you got a lot of stuff going on in your mind. So it's possible to forget. So you come back from, after you go to ruku, you come back from ruku. And of course, how many we have? How many of them?
That's 5.
How many do we have in total though?
14.
14 of them. Okay, so we mentioned 5 so far, right? So the 6th one is what?
Sujood.
To go to sujood. And sujood
On all 7.
on all 7. Some people, they when they pray, they will lift one leg up. They will not put their leg up. Or some people, they will put their head up, but not put the nose up. That also is a nullifier. So the 7 fingers, the 7 parts has to do your head and your nose together, your 2 hands, knees, and the feet. So what head is considered as 1, and 2, and knee and feet type. Then what else we have to that?
The sittings.
Yeah, when you make sujood, you have to sit back. If you go to sujood and you don't sit and you just get up, right? Or you go to sujood and you didn't come all the way and you just go back down, then that's a nullifier. Type. What happens after that? After you come back from sujood?
Start up again.
The sitting between the 2 prostrations.
Sitting between, yeah, that we mentioned, that's the sitting, that's what we mentioned that. Then after that is that you have to be tranquil. You know, some people, they pray, they're so fast, right? They don't have tranquility in their salah, right? They say, they go to ruku, and they come right after, they get up right after that. Now.
Or the tranquility. Say you praying behind somebody,
Mm-hmm.
and they race you through the salah.
Right.
Should you pray it over, or?
You should go get away from him. You should get away from him. Yes, you should get away from him. Because his salah is not valid. His salah is not valid. And if his salah is not valid, your salah is not valid. Because you're following him.
Okay, what of this? You know, there's 2 sujood, right?
Mm-hmm.
The first one, the second one. So, like some people, maybe they are praying any of the prayer. The first one, some people they will first sit down before standing up again.
Okay.
Or some people will just from the second sujood they will just stand up straight. Which one is?
Yeah, that is fine, Shal. That is fine.
Both
Because they are trying to get up. Some people are trying to get themselves together in that part. That is not considered. The sitting that you sit down before you get up is not considered that, because that is for those who.
It's not bad.
It's not part of the rukun.
But it's not bad.
It's not bad. No, it's not bad. Yes, it's not bad. No. Okay. So now a person has to be tranquil. He cannot be racing through his salah. If he races through salah, the salah is invalid. Then what after that?
Keeping the correct order.
Keeping the correct order. You cannot do sujood before you do ruku. Right? So everything has to be in the proper order. What's after that?
Final touch of her.
I hate cheating, huh? No. We're supposed to know this because you're not going to be able to get your notes when in the salah. So, then what after that when you, how many have you mentioned so far now?
I think that's
It's 10 so far? Okay.
Yeah.
Then what?
Sitting for the.
It's fine.
Tashahhud al-akhir.
Yeah, that's it for
The last tashahhud.
Yeah.
The first tashahhud is not a sunnah. All right? Then sitting for tashahhud.
Yeah.
Sitting for the last tashahhud. Then what's the next one is send salam on the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And after that,
Ibrahim.
Salat Ibrahimiyya.
That's a part of it, ain't it?
It's part of that. No, it's part of What's that? And Taslimatan. You have to say Taslim. Is that 14? That's 14. Yeah, that's 14, right? Yeah, that's 14.
Salat Ibrahim.
Allahumma salli Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad now.
Second one, right?
For the second one, yes.
Second one.
The first one,
Just
this is called wajib. Yeah.
Okay. During Fajr,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we only have one sitting.
Right.
So
That's the last tashahhud.
okay.
That's the last one.
So no, according to your explanation now,
Mm-hmm.
the first tashahhud is not compulsory.
No, it's compulsory. If you miss intentionally, the salah is nullified.
But
If you forget, that's what we're talking about.
Okay, if I forget
Yes.
and I later remember, the salah is still okay.
Yes. Yes. You do sujood sasawi if you're still in the salah.
But maybe after I'm out of the salah.
Yeah, if after the salah you say sujood sasawi, yes.
The salah is still okay, right?
Yes, okay. You just make sujood sasawi, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Me and my wife got disagreement last week. I was praying Maghrib and she was praying behind me.
Mm-hmm.
That's Maghrib 3 rak'ah. Second rak'ah I said Salaam alaikum wa rahmatullah. She said Subhanallah. I stand up,
Right.
but she told me start again.
Oh no, you don't have to start again.
I said I never heard that before.
You don't have to start again.
I know.
You don't have to. You just get up,
Yeah, and then
do the third one,
yeah.
then if you say taslim,
And then,
and you say sujood sasawi, and that's it.
Exactly right.
Yeah, yeah. Now, so those are 14, right? So if sometimes people think that you mess it up, so you have to do it. That's fine, yeah. So it says, wal qiyam bi rukun fard. It said because qiyam starting is obligatory, as we mentioned, as Allah mentioned in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 238. Wa qumu lillahi qanitin. Allah said in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 238, that and stand for Allah qanitin, meaning that without talking. That when you stand in salah, because there was a hadith that mentioned that the companions used to talk in their salah until that was abrogated. It was abrogated. So now, when this verse was revealed, and from that they were not. It's not permissible for them to speak in the salah. So he mentioned. He says, "Illa li'ajzin." He said, except a person should not stand in salah due to if it's a person who doesn't have ability, like a person who's handicapped, for example, he doesn't have to stand in salah. Or a person who's naked. A person who's naked is not permissible for him to stand in the salah. Alright?
So how you going to pray when the person is naked?
Sit down.
Sit down.
When you're on the clothes?
Yes. Naked.
You can pray without having clothes and.
I mean, if you're in a situation.
In a situation like that, in a prison, for example,
Yeah, you
right?
locked down or something.
You don't have nothing to wear.
Sitting down.
All right. Also, maybe people back in Guantanamo days, those who are locked up. All right. They don't have anything. They're torturing and they're beating them. Right. And they still have to pray. And they pray sitting down. Then they don't have to stand. It says, "Aw khaifan," or you're afraid. There's a reason why you cannot pray standing. Maybe somebody's shooting, right? And you have to pray. Maybe they're in a war zone or something like that. And if you stand up, you're going to get killed, right? You have to sit down. It's a aw ma'muman. أو مأموما خلف الإمام الحي العاجز عنه, or you're praying behind the imam, who is the imam, the regular imam, but he's not able to stand. Then everybody have to sit down, right?
Wait. If the imam is not able to stand up,
Yes,
we all have to sit down.
you have to sit down. Yes,
Oh.
yeah, everybody has to sit down. But
if you stand up and he cannot, and sit down, he cannot stand up again, you need to sit with him
if he stands up, yeah, yes,
until
the end, yes. Yes, everybody have to sit to the end. But it is not allowed for a person who's not the imam. It's better for the imam to use somebody else to lead the salah, if that's his condition. But if you say, no, I'm going to lead the salah myself, then everybody else has to sit down behind him to pray. But it's not permissible for a person who is not the imam to sit down and lead the salah. It's not permissible. Right.
Quick question. Say the imam can stand up, but when it comes to making ruku and sujood, he sits down. Do we make regular ruku and sujood, or do we sit down too?
If he sit down, now, then you make a sujood, no problem. Now, it's when he's sitting, when he start. If he starts,
Sitting in the place of qiyam.
if he's sitting down in the place of qiyam, now that's what we're talking about now. That's what we're talking about now. Type. So it says, وإن أدرك الإمام في الركوع فبقدر التحريمية. So if he meets imam, now it's moving on. If a person meets the imam in ruku', right? All you have to say is Allahu Akbar. How many Allahu Akbar you have to say? You have to say 2. If you only say 1, then you have not entered into salah. It's as if that you say Allahu Akbar for going down. You have to say Allahu Akbar, then you say Allahu Akbar again to go to ruku', but you don't have to say Surah Al-Fatiha if the imam is already in ruku'. I hope that's clear, inshallah. Time. So he says, and sorry, brother, sorry, I forgot your name. Sabor. The Sabor. Inshallah. You can listen, inshallah, because some of the words that we're going to be using may be above your head. Because some of the words with ruku', I'm not sure if he knows what ruku' is. And I'm not sure, I don't know, I'm not sure if he knows. But inshallah, we're going to start when we start another book, we can still listen now. There's another book, the smaller one, we can go slowly, but we started this before Ramadan. So inshallah. And also the brothers can help him as well too. Now, type. So he says, so you're moving on, he said, Takbirat al-Ihram rukun. Saying Allahu Akbar, the first Allahu Akbar is rukun. وكذا قراءة الفاتحة على الإمام والمنفرد. Also reciting Fatiha for the Imam and the one who's praying alone. The Imam and is praying alone. وكذا ركوع, and also وكذا ركوع, and also ruku' also, as we mentioned, it is also pillar from the pillars of Salah. What time we have left? We have 12 minutes. Type. So he's going to mention hadith where all this came from. He mentioned hadith of Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu. He said, أن الرجل دخل المسجد. So a man entered the masjid. Abu Hurairah narrating a hadith. He said, فصلى, and he prays. ثم جاء إلى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. And he came. Then after he prays, he come to Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم. Then Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم said, فسلم عليه, and he gave Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم. فقال, the Prophet said to him, ارجع فصلي فإنك لا تصلي. He says, go back and pray because you didn't pray. And he did that 3 times. He said, you go back and pray. He did that 3 times. He said, وَالَّذِي بَعْثَ بِالْحَقِّ. He said, I swear by the one who sent you with the truth, I don't know how to pray more than this. He said, I don't know. You sent me 3 times to go and pray. I swear by Allah who sent you with the truth, I don't know how to pray other than what I pray. He said, Pastor, tell him, he says, فَعْلِمْنِي, so teach me. فَقَالَ لَهُ النَّبِيُّ صلى الله عليه وسلم. The Prophet said to him, إِذَا قَمْتَ إِلَى الصَّلَاةِ. He said, if you stand for salah, فَكَبِّرْ, say Allahu Akbar. ثُمَّ قَرَعَ مَا تَيَسَّرْ مَاكَ مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ. Then after you say Allahu Akbar, then recite whatever is easy for you in the Quran. And also, here is also, just to mention, A person who does not know Surah Al-Fatiha, what else option does he have? Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar. So brother, I don't know, brother Sabu knows how to recite Fatiha yet? No, when you're in the Salah, when you're praying, when you're behind the Imam, you say Subhanallah, Walhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. That is sufficient for you. And also, so you say this. I'm trying to think about. Okay. So you say this, and inshallah should be sufficient for you. It should be sufficient for you until you learn Surah Al-Fatiha. Until you learn Surah Al-Fatiha. So the Prophet told this man, he said, if you pray, say Allahu Akbar. If you stand up, say Allahu Akbar. And recite whatever is easy for you from the Quran. Then make ruku. But when you make ruku, be tranquil. Don't rush. Then come back from ruku. Get up. Until you are straight. Thumma isjud. Then make sujood. And be tranquil when you make your sujood. Thumma jalasa hatta tatmaina. And when you sit down so that you are tranquil as well too. ثم فعل ذلك في صلاة كلها. And we do all of this in all of your salah. What the Prophet said, what I told you now, do the same thing in all of the rak'ah of your salah. Sheikh Salih Fawzan, he says, فدل عن أهل المسمى بهذه الحديث لا يذكر بحال. He said everything that is mentioned in this hadith, it is not permissible for a person to miss out in any situation. That he said, إذ لو سقط لسقط لهذا العربي الجاهل. He said if he's going to fall, if anyone's going to be excused, the ignorant Arab man will have been excused from that. And the Prophet did not excuse it for him. He told him to what? To go back and pray again. Right? Until he prayed 3 times and said, I don't know how to pray. That is when the Prophet showed him. He said, these things I've mentioned in this hadith, a person has to come in it, in his salah. That if a person does not come in the salah, then the salah is not valid. And inshallah, I think we should start the inshallah 59. هذا والله أعلم صلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. طيب. طيب.
Assalamu alaikum.
السلام عليكم.
I want to